Hello. Since I'm getting questions about my video I just posted earlier today in Dutch, I'm going to try and explain it in English, what I am trying to explain here. I'm 34 years old now. I was born in 1988 in the Netherlands, and I was raised there. And I didn't really had a typical youth. I was born with autism when I was 6 years old, and by the time I was 8 years old I couldn't live with my parents, so I ended up in the system. I've been abused there, in the first area where I stayed, by somebody who was living in my room who forced himself upon me. After that I totally got lost. And I was uncontrollable in my behavior when it comes to sexuality, and I also developed, when I was older, a porn addiction, and well, guess what? I seen the court a couple of times. I've been in youth institutions and youth mental hospitals where I became emotionally, where I exploded, destroyed my room quite often, ended up in isolation chamber, got sedative medicines, and well, the system took care of me. I'm fully aware of my mistakes. I'm also fully aware of my weaknesses, and I'm fully aware of the fact that in our society, if you make mistakes, you're marked for life. They may call it resocialization in Dutch, resocialisatie, which is something like reintegrating. But it doesn't really exist on paper. I mean, if you kill somebody, sure, you're getting a second chance. But if you do other stuff, even if it wasn't really like raping somebody, I never did that shit. No, I wouldn't. I was simply not smart in my language. And I couldn't really read the signs, if it was appropriate. I have never forced myself upon anybody. There has been one person who claimed so, but that person was lying. Which also turned out to be true, that he was lying, because when he saw me a few years later, he was like totally happy to see me. And I was like, yeah, sure. See, the Me Too discussion is pretty interesting. I've been raped. Not just by a guy of a couple of years older when I was 7 or 8, something like that, but even by adults. So, the Me Too discussion, what I want to say about that is that there are also people who get accused falsely, and I have. Anyway, I took it like a champ, and I tried to rebuild my life. When I started living on my own in 2009, 2010, I decided that I wanted to try with music again. I went to the Voice of Holland, and I only went to the auditions. I wasn't good enough. So I was disappointed in this country, and I just decided to leave, and I decided to go to Kenya. There are many people there who still remember me, because I was the white guy living on the streets. Poor Mzungu. It was painful, but it taught me one lesson, and that is to never give up. When I came back, I was a bit a mental case, and I may always be a mental case. But after that, I had to rebuild my life again. And actually, from the time I returned to the Netherlands, I've always been living in debt. I've always been living behind. And obviously, my porn addiction fucked me up, which resulted in police, 2013, February, I'll always remember. And from that time, I started looking after myself, learning to love myself, learning to talk, to speak up like I've been doing on Instagram as well. But the mark will never go away. It's like the mark of the beast, but I'm not a beast. See that mask above me? That's to keep me reminding me that I should never wear my mask. Because I should be true to myself. I lost my mom in 2014, and in 2015 I got the conviction. Resulted in social labor. I don't know the literal translation, but anyway, it's like forced labor. 240 hours. In neighborhoods. I think here in Almere, where I live, people saw me do it. And they'll still be talking about it probably if they see me. But hey, I did it with energy. Because I knew I was wrong. And I knew my porn addiction made me become part of a problem. A very wide problem in our society. Where sexuality becomes so addictive and so such a strain upon life, on our minds, on our society, that it's making the boundaries between what's normal and what isn't normal very vague. And we have to be careful about that. We have to speak up. We shouldn't just say, oh, this guy or this girl did this or that. Well, it's more likely a guy. It's just, that's science. But we gotta give people chances in our society to rehabilitate. But anyway, I'm really going deep into my life here, because I've got nothing to lose anymore. So let me continue trying to explain you the Dutch video, but my heart tells me to just open up. See, in the years after, I got my first relationship with a guy called Sheldon. I'll always love him, but he really quickly started threatening to tell people about my conviction and call me a rapist. Apparently he did so, because I heard stories from people. And he started blackmailing me in a relationship. Not just verbally, but also emotionally. And he was cheating on me behind my back. And some other people as well, did the same shit to me. And still I decided to focus on my music. Still I decided to make something out of my life. Because, especially after my mom passed away, but also most likely because of my brother Shiny from Mombasa, Ushindi Baptist Church nearby, Likoni, near Shelly Beach. I made a song about him. But him and my mom, they're the two people who really made me aware that I should try to shine like a star, because there's so much negativity. The world is rough. And I think they and some other people really saw that I've also been a victim. And for too long I've been so harsh on myself, and for too long I have been punishing myself. But it's not gonna work. But then there is the society where I live from a very small amount of money each month. And, the taxes, the VAT taxes went up for food, healthcare insurances. Yeah, we have it. Some countries don't. I know. We are lucky. I know. But I'm trying to explain from perspective. We may have certain systems, but they are turning backwards, in our country. And I think many people are feeling increasingly left out. And that's why you have so much extremism or radicalism. I mean, I talked about it in my music, but even in my videos. I think the only way to unite this world is by more compassion. And I'm making no joke. I mean, look at me. No shit, Sherlock. You do lack a lot of compassion in your life, Mr. DaStar. Yeah. But it's 2022. Or 2022. I don't care. And I feel like maybe this is me dying. I don't know. My soul is leaving. It's like this society is wacko these days. So focused on self-seeking. So focused on economy, on this, on that, on politics. But people seem to forget a certain group in society, and it's a growing group, by the way, that feels left out. And then I was showing that I don't have any teeth anymore because due to poverty, can't afford to go to a dentist. I'm finally going, but rarely if I'm able to travel. Right now I may have to quit it. I mean, this is where I was going. My budget has been taken over, but nobody really told me in advance, clearly, that my budget was going to be taken over, or I wouldn't have agreed. And it's like they played a game with me. And I reluctantly agreed with it, because obviously I want to pay off my debts. That's why I'm in this special debt repairment program. It's called MSNP, Minderlijke Schuldsanering. Nog wat, ja. Those who are good in it, who are experts, will explain what it is. Just Google it. Too much for this video, but you know, these people took over my budget and they told me that I should live from €40.50, and I'm checking at their own numbers, the table they created, and there are totally different numbers than this person is giving me. And last but not least, they're not really answering me. They're not really clear in their communications. Organizations don't really seem to understand that these people need clarity. Yeah. And then last but not least, yeah, I was saying I wanted to die. I was saying that euthanasia for people outside of the physical condition as a reason should also have the opportunity to choose euthanasia. I'm not saying it to shock. In 2014, on a train station, I saw a girl jump in front of a train. And I think there are plenty other people who do this shit. It's bad. Suicide is a really bad situation. I've had dozens of moments that I've tried it, from 10 years old. In the beginning, nobody knew. I don't want to die. But I feel something in this world is dying if we do not care about the people who feel left out. We've got to reach out. Or indeed, maybe we should make euthanasia available. We can be very tough about this, but some people just don't feel like they belong. And if the society doesn't want to listen, then maybe this is the alternative. I don't want to sound like Mengele or something. I am trying to sound like a human being, trying to make you empathetical for a certain group in society that has been felt left out for way too long. God bless you if you get this message, and God bless you if you took the time to listen to all of it. Because my life is just one of so many millions who feel like this. Around the world, if we want the society to become better, less divided, we've got to listen and take care of their worries and sorrows. Because ain't we all have enough tribulations in life? I do think so. God bless you.